Someday when my crying's done, I'm gonna wear a smile and walk in the sun. I may be a fool, but till then, darling, you never see me complain. I'll do my crying in the rain. Though the heartache remains, I'll do my crying in the rain.
Hello Atlanta! It was so good to be back. It seems like ages since we've been and played here, apart from the fact we played here last night. But it's so good to be back. We always said that Atlanta is one of our favourite places to come and play, and so there's no coincidence that we picked 2 nights in this city. So thank you so much. And it's good to see all of you who didn't make it last night, and because of the weather, thanks for coming out tonight, and at least the weather's good, you know. And ironically, we actually wrote that song that we just played there now after our load-in yesterday, because we were virtually crying in the room because of the Atlanta weather.
Just perfect.
It was a lot of rain. But no, actually, there is actually a funny story behind the fact that we have that song. It may be a bit of a curveball. You've never heard us sing that before until this tour. But it all sort of makes sense when we tell a certain story about what's happened.
Yes.
2 weeks ago?
That's right. 2 weeks ago, yeah. We were putting the set list together, and we were 90% there with the set list. And Ryan rang me and he says, Byrne, he says, what do you reckon? He says, I'm not 100%. He says, I'm just nearly there with the set list. I says, I know. I says, well, maybe we need a really good opener, something new to open with, you know. So we went looking in the archives, you know, and I was at home and I was looking through albums and all that type of thing. Looked through an Everly Brothers album, and we'd covered a couple of Everly Brothers tracks before, but this one just stood out off the page, and I went, I never thought of this one before. And it's such a beautiful song, and it sounds like a very simple lyric, but it's very, very clever. And anyway, Ryan was coming down to me the next day, the next morning. And Ryan lives about an hour and a half from my house, so he's on his way down from Tyrone to Dublin. And he always rings me 20 minutes from my house when he passes the Apple garage. And says...
Clockwork,
clockwork. Yeah. He says, Byrne, put the kettle on. He says, I'll be there in 20 minutes.
You can set your watch to it, basically.
You can set your watch to it, I know. And he says, by the way, he says, I'm after being listening to Ulster Radio, and he says, I heard an absolutely beautiful song. He says, but listen, we'll talk about that when I get down. So, 20 minutes goes by, the doorbell rings, he comes in, the tea's there, we're at the table. And Ryan says, have you heard that song by Aha? He says, now they didn't write it, he says, but they've done a beautiful version of an Everly Brothers song called Cry crying in the rain.
Swear to God.
So I just shook my head and I went into the studio where I had written down, and I was glad I had it written down because Kelly mightn't believe me. So I brought out the page and I put it on the table and I says, look at this, look down through the set list, you know, and you see him crying in the rain with a question mark on it. So I just took out the pen and scribbled out the question mark.
It was always going to be there in the set list then after that.
It was always going to be.
There was no chance of us not playing it. So that's the reason why that's our first song tonight. But, you know, and I guess when we think about, you know, new set lists and new tours, there's it's a good opportunity to visit old friends, I think, and old songs that we haven't sang in a while. And the next song is definitely one of those. It's a song that we recorded in our very first album, Acoustically Irish, and we haven't played it for a while. And we thought, you know what, we could just change it up a bit, get a new sound to it, and get it back out there because we loved it playing it the first time around. We're loving playing it even more this time around, I think. So
Absolutely, yeah.
we're not going to say any more about it.
Laying low when the mountains seem no closer than before, and you wonder why. You know in your mind it does no good to hide, and the only way is living to survive. It makes you feel alive. See all the doors swing open your lives and falling before your very eyes. Such a strange affair. Walking around, tune into the sound, forget all your doubts, feel the air. A beautiful affair. Comes a time when you look around and you see the ocean rise before your eyes, and you're surprised. Make your way down to the shore and you climb aboard. Give yourself a smile that makes you feel alive. See all the doors swing open, your lives unfolding before your very eyes. It's such a strange affair. Walking around, tuning into the sound, forget all your doubts, feel the air. A beautiful affair. You're laying low when the mountains seem no closer than before, and you wonder why. Know in your mind it does no good to hide, and the only way is living to survive. It makes you feel alive. See all the doors swing open, your lives unfolding before your very eyes. Such a strange affair. Walking around, commit to the sound, forget all your doubts, feel the air. A beautiful affair. Let's hear it. See all the doors swing open, your lives unfolding before your very eyes. Such a strange affair. Walking around, commit to the sound, forget all your doubts, feel the air. Beautiful. full affair.
Thank you so much. Do you know, I guess thinking from a song that we recorded on our very first album, Acoustic Irish, to a song that we wrote for our most recent album, Echoes. And it's a song that it's very dear to us, and I guess the backstory to this song, I suppose, is that we often chat about, you know, periods of our lives when things are great and when you're at your happiest, I suppose. And I guess being a child is one of those times when you sort of, you have this freedom and just a love for life and you know, when nothing really bothers you. And we thought about that, we thought, you know, it's great having, we were very lucky to have these childhoods that all four of us had, that were, it was just a sort of a bit of a, you're let loose and just had a great time. And we thought, you know, it'd be great. Unfortunately, we have to grow up, of course, and become adults, which is never good, you know, but it's something we have to do, and unfortunately. But we're thinking, you know, would it be great just to transpose yourself back to that time when you're just a kid and things are just, nothing mattered, you know?
That's it. And I think sometimes, a lot of the time when we're travelling in the bus or in the van or whatever, we do transport ourselves back and we talk about stories of the past, you know, when you have a 4-hour journey or a 6-hour journey, you know, we talk about a lot of stuff. And only last week, I was telling the guys about the place I grew up in Bray, County Wicklow, a small little park with 30 houses in it, a little field in the middle. And we all used to play during the summer, and it was a lovely, safe environment, and we loved it very, very much. My mum and dad are still there today, thank God. But I lived on a hill, and the hill was quite steep, and when it goes down to the bottom, there's a wall at the end of it, and a little curve. And I remember all the cars in the park. We didn't have new cars back then in the 80s. It was hard times in Ireland at the time, recession time and all. And so we all had these bangers, you know, as we called them. I remember my next door neighbour that lived on the very top of the hill, and we were next door to Anne-Marie, the daughter, she was 3 or 4 years older than me, and she used to, as a kid, get into her mum's car, and she'd be just pretending to drive, you know, just sitting there. And I remember someday I just decided to hop in the back seat. I got in there, Anne-Marie was driving, you know, I was like, where are we going, you know? And you know, she's driving away, you know, and I'm looking at, but I noticed it was something very strange was happening when I noticed my own house passing by. You know, the engine wasn't running, you know, but the handbrake was let off. So we started off down the hill, and the funny thing was, when I was looking at the house passing by, my dad, right at that very moment, was walking out the front door. No kidding you. He was walking out the front door, and just a look of shock on his face when he seen me sitting in the back and waving at him. And Anne-Marie in the front, not even being able to see over the front wheel, you know, trying to steer. Anyway, fair play to him. He charged down that hill, put his hand in the window, and thank God the handbrake on those old Renault 4s were in the middle of the dash, and he was able to pull the handbrake out like this, you know, and save the day, save the wall, save us, and save the car. So it was a happy ending. Although Dad wasn't too impressed with me and Anne-Marie, you know. But it was just another episode in the garden, wasn't it?
It was. These are stories that we sort of share all the time, and we thought about this song and think, that's exactly, you know, the place you want to be in, you know. So when we know you're going to sing this song back to us, so when you're singing it, just transport yourselves back to when you're 8 years old. Not in the back of a car, career in Georgia Wall. But you know, in that carefree environment where just everything is just free.
Once upon a long time ago, I remember how we used to dream. In the garden we played. We were young and we were this world, boy or a girl. So we will soon be hiding in the shadows. We will run until the day was done. Laughing as we dance between the raindrops, we're the only ones. Gazing in the wildflower fields, viewing faces in the clouds, far away from the crowd, not knowing that the time will slip away into a place where only we can go. Within the depths of our souls, to a place where we were hiding in the shadows. We will run until the day was done. Laughing as we dance between the raindrops, we're the only ones. When we were young, when we were in the garden we laughed, in the garden we cried, in the garden we lived, till the last of the light. Change beneath their eyes, I can see the ghosts of the past, like a window through time, a window to the garden. Hiding in the shadows, we will run until the day was done. Laughing as we dance between the raindrops, we're the only ones. When we were young, when we were we're all young. One more time. When we were all right. When we were when we once upon a long time ago, we knew how we would dream. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Some great singing there, Atlanta. Yeah. The Atlanta choir is in tonight, for sure. It's all good, it's all good. We're talking about, new set lists, I suppose, and songs that we haven't sang before as Byrne and Kelly. And this next song is one such track. But it's a song that's still has a big connection for Neil and myself. We've never sang it as Byrne and Kelly before until this tour, but it goes back a long way, the connection to this song, further back even than Celtic Thunder.
Yeah, very true. Brings back some memories, that actually, yeah.
There was life before Celtic Thunder,
There was.
There was.
There was actually, partly, I'm afraid to say, quite a bit. Yeah, quite a
Okay,
long trail.
that's enough, Neil. That's enough.
No, yeah.
No need to say.
Maybe not for Damien McGinty, but for us it was. But yeah, I can remember this. This next song is interesting from myself and Ryan's perspective because it was very, very influential, and the album that came off, Brothers in Arms. Beautifully written album with many hits on the album and just fabulous playing, fabulous songs, fabulous lyrics. And I remember it was the first album that I ever bought when I was a kid. I remember seeing it on the TV and I was guitar mad, and when I seen Money for Nothing, that song on the TV with Mark Knopfler playing, it was like, okay, that's it, I want to be him. And it sold. And myself and Ryan, it spoke about how influential that album was, the both of us. I remember going down, saving up for 7 weeks to buy this album. Now I had no wages at the time, I was only 5. And
times were tough, but not
times
that
were
tough.
tough.
Not
Yeah.
that tough.
I know. Well, the only wage you got was my pocket money, and it was £1 a week. So it took me 7 weeks, and I always remember this. We got down to, myself and my mum went down to Golden Discs in Bray, when there was record shops, and it was $7.99. I knew my mum wouldn't say, let's turn back now. So she gave me the 99 cent.
Puppy dog eyes.
Oh, I tell you, I brought out the best they could be in puppy dogs. But, so we got the album, but absolutely wonderful album, and I just always remember having that beautiful, tangible record that was absolutely gorgeous. And if we fast forward over 20 years, myself and Ryan were recording this up in Amberville Studios in County Antrim at home, and then a few months later we made it onto the stage in Radio City in New York to play to a packed house, this very next song.
Incredible, yeah.
So it was an exciting experience, a
Well,
nervous experience
yeah,
too.
a long time from when you think about it, the difference between, you know, the day you got it as a 6, 7-year-old,
Yeah.
and to think that you're playing it on Radio City Music Hall in New York, one of the most famous venues in the world, and it was incredible. We both share this experience. We think, when we're talking back about it, we say, like, it was such an honour and you know, an amazing thing to do. It was also one of the most scariest nights of our lives. Standing on the stage in 2008, the first tour we ever done with Celtic Thunder. And I don't know if you realise, but
Yes.
it's difficult when you're playing to like 6,000 people to hide the fact that your leg is shaking the whole time.
Because it always shakes faster than the beat of the song.
If you kept the tempo, it would be fine.
It'd be perfect, yeah. And my lip as well, my lip was going 90. I couldn't keep it at the same tempo. It was terrible.
People in the crowd going, what is wrong with those two people?
His leg and my lip, you know. It was like someone had strings up in the gods going,
That's the weirdest show I've ever been to. But we got through it, we did it, but we thought, you know, it's probably good that we sort of redeem ourselves with this song and do it at a Byrne and Kelly gig, because, you know, fast forward another 10 years after that, and we thought, it's time to bring it out, you know, and do it again. And so, we'd love to do it for you now. I mean, Radio City Music Hall, here in Atlanta tonight, pretty much the same. There's just less shaking. Anyway, this is Brothers in Arms. These mist-covered mountains are a home now for me, but my home is the lowlands. Someday you'll return to your valleys and your falls, and you'll no longer burn to be brothers in arms. For these fields of destruction, baptisms of fire, I've witnessed your suffering as the battles raced higher, and though they did hurt me so bad, and the fear and the love, you did not desert me, my brothers in arms. There's so many different worlds, so many different sounds. We have just one world, but we live in different worlds. Now the sun's gone to hell, and the moon's riding high. Let me bid you farewell, 'cause every man has to die, but it's written in the starlight, every line on your palm. We're fools to make war on our brothers in arms. Thank you so much, thank you. Neil Byrne on guitar. Thank you so much. Nice to do that song without the shaking, it's fine. We're, so we've been busy as Byrne and Kelly the last few months filming a new DVD that many of you know about. Some of you have seen so far echoes of story. And basically what we want to do is just sort of talk about the album that we've written and the songs behind it and the inspiration for these songs and where that came from, you know. And one of the songs of the album is called the Ragman. And so you know, the song tells the story of these guys who used to sort of travel around Dublin with their horse and carts back in the day, turn of the century, 1900s, into the sort of early 1900s, and you know, they would come down the streets, and basically the cobblestone streets, people would hear them because of the horses' hooves on the cobblestone streets and the cart wheel, and they come run out of the houses just to sort of, see what these guys had to offer them to sell and to swap, and it was an amazing time. And so we thought that, we brought this amazing director over from Kansas City, Michael McGlynn, and we wanted him to sort of like experience the whole idea of cobblestone streets as the song sort of suggests. And there's not too many cobblestone streets left in Dublin at this stage of the...
No, there's not. And it's funny. It's the memory of when Michael came over, and we did find the cobblestone street a really fantastic one. It has great character to it. It's quite long and it has old kind of derelict, old mills, old flour mills on either side. And right down the very end, there's these big black gates. And behind those big black gates is 64 acres of Guinnesses. I mean, who owns 64 acres in Dublin of anything except Guinnesses? But it was we were talking about...
merely a coincidence that we decided to film just outside the Guinness Brewery,
Yeah. It was just the road. It was just those cobblestones. We were telling Michael all about, exactly what Ryan was saying there about the horse and cart, and telling him the whole backstory of it. And while we did the camera rolling, lo and behold, the black gates opened. And what comes out? A horse and cart comes out, and on the back had about somewhere between 8 to 10 kegs of Guinness on the back of it.
True.
So with the sound effects and everything, which was great,
And that was Michael's first experience, I think, of our virtual ragman with all this Guinness in the background. To be fair, the ragman that we've written about in the song didn't quite carry around kegs of Guinness, which would have been a whole different song, probably. But
a little different.
Our ragman, he falls for a local girl, and they fall in love, and she gives up everything to sort of travel around the country with him. And then one day, she wakes up and he's gone, and he's just moved on.
She's some girl to be travelling on that cart, isn't she?
Well, true enough, yeah. But thank God there wasn't kegs of Guinness. I suppose it'd be more comfortable than it was. But she looks back and she thinks, what? Even though I know what has gone on here, at the same time, she's happy the fact that she spent time with her ragman because she was so in love with him. And so this is the song we wrote, and we want to tell you the story about the ragman.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Spent his life in transit, traipsing around the liberties, sack slung on his shoulders, sticking handholds in both knees. Children run to meet him like a circus passing by. Mothers stand and greet him, hoping they can catch his eye. She can't tell what it was to make her want to give her heart, but she knew her future stood right there with a man with a horsey cart. Family worker somehow, she was left there on her own. Here comes, man with a bragging ball. Say he joined the Navy at the age of 17. Nowhere on this planet that man has never been. Had his way with the women from all corners of the land. Now he chose his Dublin girl by offering his hand. She gave up everything she had to follow him around, filling bags and selling rags to try and make a pound. She always hoped for better, her future was unknown. Here comes, here comes, here comes, here comes. She never thought he'd up in me. Here comes, here comes, here comes, here comes. Man with a rag on. again to build a life once more. She prays he's safe and dreams of her upon a distant shore. He'd do her wrong, but in her heart the fire it still burns. And life will never be the same until the road returns. Each child that grows inside will never hold his father's hand. Left without a warrior, she'll never understand. Looking back on what he did, and even if she'd know, she wouldn't change one thing.
Not even one thing.
Not a thing.
You think there'd be something, wouldn't you?
I suppose, I don't know, I guess love is blind, but it's, you know.
There's many things that go on, like you think it'd be something.
But one thing she wanted to change, yeah. Strange that, isn't it?
Yeah, it's weird. Like,
Who wrote this song?
you just wonder where. Yeah,
It's weird, isn't it? It's weird. Do you want to take a minute to think about this? About a man with a rag. He was a rag man. She loved the rag and roll. She loved the rag man. She loved the rag and roll. Here comes the rag man. Here comes the rag and roll. She loved the rag man. She loved that dragon bone. She loved the dragon bone. She loved the rag man. She loved the dragon bone. And I'm the rag man. Here comes the dragon bone. All right.
Ragman. Peter Sheridan on guitar. Nicole Hudson on Hammond organ.
I was actually playing the shit.
Ryan Kelly on shaker.
Yeah, thanks. Too little, too late at this stage.
Pressure in this gig sometimes I have. All the credits in. Well, guys, this film documentary that we did was great fun as well, filming, because it allowed us to go all over the country in Ireland and film in the places that we'd written about. And one of those being my own very backyard, where I grew up. And it's an old house with an old shed and an old tweed coat hanging up in the shed. This old coat is hanging there for nearly 70 years now. It was my granddad's coat. And my granddad, unfortunately, died at the age of 40. He was very much in love with my grandmother, and she with him. He had left, well, actually, to go back a bit, my father, through all these years of living in the house himself, always used to enjoy going into that shed just to be close, I think, to the father that he didn't know. Because his coat was hanging there, his work tools were there, his bicycle wheel was there. For some reason, about 3 or 4 years ago, my dad went into that very shed, and the old tweed coat, he just happened to go up to it. He touched it for the first time, and he opened it, and inside there was a breast pocket, and to his amazement there was a piece of paper just sticking out, and obviously he was very, very intrigued to know what was on that piece of paper. So he took it out, and lo and behold, it was a full letter. It was a love letter written from my grandfather to my grandmother. He wrote this letter when he knew he was going to die. Unfortunately, my grandmother never found it because she just left the coat hanging there because I think it was probably the last thing that he did was to hang up that coat there. But we wanted to write a song about it, in which we did. And my father and my Aunt Mary, his sister, were very, very happy that we had tipped our hats to the love that their parents had for each other. Also, when we wanted to possibly come up and film in that very place, we wanted to be sensitive to the matter. We said it to my dad and my Aunt Mary, and they gave us our blessing to go ahead and film there. So on the documentary as well, our wonderful director Michael Glenn got a beautiful shot of the old tweed coat. You can see how old it is in it, and it's really, really lovely, and it's very, very well filmed and respected. We'd like to play it for you now. This is the old tweed coat. He had a warmth in his eyes, she had a song in her heart. The most indelible kind, right from the start. Two worlds would collide, hearts would beat like a drum. In that old tweed coat was love, only love, only love, lonely love. He'd come from miles and miles, over mountains he'd ride. No journey too long, just to be by her side. Their hands entwined as they walk on the shore. In that old tweed coat was more, only love, only love, only love, only love. Time and the years of laughter and tears, gone with the wind and the rain. Boy, from the here too soon to be still. Now they have come to carry him home. Their lives had been one, but now they're apart. But the words in that coat next to his heart. They spoke of his love, which still remains. For that altered coat contains only love, only love, only Thank you very much. Thank you. Peter Sheridan on piano.
So we were talking about subject matters for the album. I suppose, we're always very mindful that you write about stuff that means something to you and you've got a connection with. And we were talking just about places that we always love to visit as kids. And Neil had said to me about this place called the Meeting of the Waters, where two rivers in County Wicklow meet. The Avonmore and the Avonbeg meet to become one river. And Neil said about just, he used to go there as a kid and
That's right.
not fully appreciate probably the beauty of it as a child.
No, I suppose, you're busy, as kids do, just running around. But my mum and dad used to bring us down a lot. I suppose they really acknowledged the beauty of this place and the tranquility of this place. And it was only through, I suppose, later in life when I'd drive down around that Wicklow area and I'd stop off there a lot, and I began to really respect and love the place for what it is. Wherever I go, I'm here, I'm now, is a line that we wrote and we put into the song. I always remember a friend saying that before, and it's just like, I suppose, being at the Meeting of the Waters or being here at this show right now. It's nice sometimes just to forget about the stresses of the past and the worries of the future. Just go, I'm here, I'm now, let's just live for now. And you just forget everything and you're relaxed and everything is just a bit easier.
Yeah.
Amen. Well put, well put.
Yeah. And that's, and the song, when we were writing this song, it became very much more, I think it sort of went off on a tangent, I suppose. It became much more than just a song about, this beautiful place in Ireland. We talked about people come to this spot and they stand transfixed and staring into the water, reflecting on their lives and reflecting on the past, reflecting on the future, as Neil says. And I think, when we thought about it metaphorically, I suppose, you'd love your life to be like a river and be straight so that you could see what's ahead of you and know exactly where it's going. We all know that's never the case. And there's a lot of twists and turns along the way, unexpectedly, that we don't know about. But, as we wrote the song, we sort of said that and said, thank God for the calm in between. So you have to deal with the twists and turns, get through them as best you can, and then enjoy the calm in between. And that's basically what Meeting of the Waters became. It became a song about a reflection on life. And when we play for you right now, we'd love you to sort of think about that. And we always, when we're playing it, we just reflect on, the good and bad, and that, thank God for that calm in between.
Stood by the water Valleys meander on a journey down the stream. The poets and lovers, children and mothers will dream. At the meeting of the water, at the meeting of the water, I'm a Rangoishka, I'm a Rangoishka. I go where I know that I'm here, I am. Surrounded by stillness, a pure spotless picture from the gallery of love, leading the paths to a place where two become one. Follow the river, the changing she'll be. Free, free as a bird, this child of the sea. I'm a Rangoishka, I'm a Rangoishka, I'm a Rangoishka, I'm a
Well, you know, we're no strangers to Atlanta. We've
Yes.
been here quite a few times over the years, the last 10 years. Both as Byrne and Kelly, and we've also came here as part of that other group that you may know.
Oh yes, that
Those guys on TV that wear the grey skirts.
Mm.
Both the grey skirts tonight.
There is, yes.
I knew we should have worn the grey skirts.
We were going to, this is Brian forgot to shave his legs. What can we do?
Like clockwork, every morning he shaves his legs, and I thought you have to remind me to do it
I
someday.
know. Don't be telling them that you know that.
This conversation's getting more weird. But you know, we always love to put in a few Celtic Thunder songs. We know there's a few Celtic Thunder fans, maybe scattered about. So we thought it'd be in March, we'll do some Irish songs.
Yes, why
We
not?
started a tour in March, of course this is now April, but we started a tour in March, and I was like, yeah, it's a good time to do these Irish songs. And we know you're going to sing
agree.
along.
Yes. Hope so. Sorry, I just answered for you. If you like.
Yeah.
But,
And you can dance as well. I mean, there's plenty of dance floor here as well if you want to.
2, 3, 4.
on the 4th of July, 1806, we set sail from the street for the port. We were sailing away with a cargo of bricks for the Grand City Hall in New York. It was a wonderful crowd, she was great for a night. And oh, how the wild winds drove her. She sang seven lasts, she had 27 lasts, and they called her the Irish Rover. He had sailed 7 years when the measles broke out, and the ship lost its way in the fog. And the whole of the crew was reduced down to 2, just myself and the captain's own dog. And the ship hit a rock, oh Lord, what a shock. The bulkhead turned right over, turned 9 times around, and the poor old dog was drowned, was the last of the Irish Rover. London's town, the county town, one morning last July. One morning, meeting sweet Pauline, and she smiled as passed me by. She looked so sweet from her 2 bare feet to the sheen of her nut brown hair. Some folks in the house, I shook myself to see I was really there. From Bantry Bay up to Derry Cay, from Galway to Dublin town. No maid I've seen like a fair Colleen that I met in the county town. As she went with me, she scratched me head, and I looked with a feeling rare. He said, says I to a passerby, who's the maid in the nut brown hair? He smiled at me and he said, says he, she's the Jumbo Fireman's crown. Goes in the camp from the banks of the bank, she's a star of the county down. From Bantry Bay up to Derry Cay, from Galway to Dublin town. I've seen in the fair Colleen that I met in the county town. From Bantry Bay up to Derry Cay, from Galway to Dublin town. I've seen in the fair Colleen that I met in the county town. Up there and turn her down the rocky road, and all the way to Dublin, whack for Lolly Rock. In the merry month of June, from me home I started and left the girls in June. So grieve and broken hearted salute the father dear. Kiss me darling, mother grant a bite of beer. Me grieving tears just smothered then up to reap the corn. Free where I was born, cut the scout for the bags. Ocean Goblin's got a pair of crows, walking on the box, waiting on the dogs. On the rocky road to Dublin, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The hair and turner down the rocky road, and all the way to Dublin, work for Lolly Rock. In Dublin next to private car, it's such a pity to be so soon behind the window. And sit there and cook the stove, and the party become a little stove. In the night, the party served the first behind, when I left behind, I'm going to go. On the stick, go on and where I found the love, he said, you gotta go. Once I let you know, on the rocky road to Dublin, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Up there and turn it down the rocky road, and all the way to Dublin, work for all the the boys are never good. When we say Phil and they call myself a fool, but no longer started. The blood began to boil. Temper I was losing for all air and time. They began abusing around me, so says I. She lay behind the bar. Some Galway boys went by. Saw I was a Holland with a longer age. Showing me afraid. We paved the way for the rocky road to Dublin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The hair and turning down the rocky road, and all the way to Dublin, whack for Lolly Rock. The hair and turning down the rocky road, and all the way to Dublin, whack for Lolly Rock.
It's not easy. This is a young man's game.
That's what we were doing.
Exactly. Because we're two young men, that's right. Yes, exactly. We call this song actually, I guess, our lost love song that we wrote for Echoes, and I think, you know, when we heard the melody of it, we thought this is definitely, it's a love song, but it's tainted with something, and it tells a story of a guy who had his love, and things were going great, but he let external factors move in, and it failed, and now his girl has gone off and found someone else, and he's sort of saying, come away, give me another chance, give me one more night, and I'll prove to you that, you know, we should be together, you should be my wife. But in reality, he knows that she's not even going to hear his words. he's drinking by himself, talking. But deep down he knows that she'll always be the girl in his dreams. Come away and spend another night with me, one last time. Now you'll be no more. For I pray he'll love you like I know I could. Take me back like you've done before. For we'd had romance, but I lost my chance when I fell to the snares of this life. So come away before I have to let you go. You're my girl, be my wife. My regrets are far too long to list for you. I've been reckless, left on the floor. But for all the money and the friends that I've lost, losing you kills me more. For if I had stayed, then this life I would trade for the one where you're there by my side. So come away, prove redemption can be found. Take my hand, be my bride. Come away. But I know these words will never reach your ears as I sit and drink on my own. For you're resting your head in another man's arms, and I'll spend my nights alone. But I knew each day how I pushed you away. Now you're gone, removed from my world. So come away, spend another night in my dreams, where you will always be my girl. Yes, I knew each day how I pushed you away. Now you're gone, removed from my world. So come away, spend another night in my dreams. You'll always be my girl. Come away, come away, come away. Thank you so much. Thank you. We talked about adding new songs to the set, and this next one is a song we've never sang before until this tour. It's an Irish song that we sort of came upon. It tells the story of a young guy who leaves the city of Derry to travel to New York, and he's leaving behind his comrades and his friends, but most of all, he's upset because he's leaving behind Liza, his girl, and he has to go and take this journey, but he's hoping that if he can make enough money over in New York, he'll be able to come back and marry her, and this is his whole plan. And she's still stuck on Paddy's Green Shamrock Shore, as he calls it. And I set the song down to Neil just when we were sort of preparing for the set list and stuff, and I said, take a listen to this, see, maybe this could be potential for the show. And the one thing we learned pretty quickly about the song is that it's got a melody which is a It's a catchy melody, and when I say catchy, it stays in your head for a long, long, long.
Sure it is.
Long time. But you know, I mean, that's the disclaimer we want to make here. If you wake up in the middle of the night and you've got this melody going over your head, you know, it's not there with us. It's all about Paddy's Green Shamrock Shore. We sailed away on the 23rd of May. We were boarded by a pleasant crew bound for America.
Fresh water then we did take on 5,000 gallons or more. In case we run short, we were to New York, far away from the Shamrock Shore. So fare thee well, sweet lies adieu, and likewise until Terrytown. And twice farewell to my comrade boys who dwell on that sainted ground.
If fortune it ever should favor me, or if I have money in store, I go back and away the sweet lassie I left on Paddy's Green Shamrock Shore. We sailed 3 days, we were all seasick, not a man on board was free. We were all confined unto our bunks, but no one took pity for me.
No father kind, no mother dear, to lift me had when it was so. Which made me think more of the lassie I left on Paddy's Green Shamrock Shore. Safely reached the other side of the 15 and 20 days. We were taken as passengers by a man and led round in 6 different ways.
We each of us drank a parting glass in case we might never meet more. Drank a health to Ireland and Paddy's Green Shamrock Shore. And we drank a health to old Ireland and Paddy's Green Shamrock Shore.
shore, waves can shamrock shore.
Thank you. Thank you.
I think it's time to step it out.
I think it is, yeah. We're getting an Irish on, so we're going to keep the Irish going now with this. You know well. And you're going to sing along, you're going to clap along, you may even dance along. It's up to you. But we're going to step it out.
One, two, three.
Step it out, Mary, my fine daughter. Step it out, Mary, if you can. Step it out, Mary, my fine daughter. Show your legs to the countryman. Step it out, Mary, my fine daughter. Step it out, Mary, if you can. Step it out, Mary, my fine daughter. Show your legs to the countryman. In the village of Killarney, there's a maid so young and fair. Her eyes they shine like diamonds. She's got long blue hair. A horseman he comes riding up to a father's gate. On a floral white stallion, he comes at the strike of 8.
Step it out, Mary, my fine daughter. Step it out, Mary, if you can. Step it out, Mary, my fine daughter. Show your legs to the countryman. Step it out, Mary, my fine daughter. Step it out, Mary, if you can. Step it out, Mary, my fine daughter. Show your legs to the countryman. I have come to court your daughter. Here's the golden hair. I have gold and I have silver. I have goods beyond compare. I will buy her silken satin and a gold ring for her hand. She shall have a mansion, she'll have servants to command. Step it out, Mary, my fine daughter. Step it out, Mary, if you can. Step it out, Mary, my fine daughter. Show your legs to the countryman. Step it out, Mary, my fine daughter. Step it out, Mary, if you can. Step it out, Mary, my fine daughter. Show your legs to the countryman.
I don't want your gold and silver, I want your horse and man. I'm going with a soldier and I'll put this in my hand. With a heart of smoke and choppy, he said, do as I command. You get married here on Sunday and you wear that wedding band.
Step it out, Mary, my fine daughter. Step it out, Mary, if you can. Step it out, Mary, my fine daughter. Show your legs to the countryman. Step it out, Mary, my fine daughter. Step it out, Mary, if you can. Step it out, Mary, my fine daughter. Show your legs to the countryman. In the village of Nicole, there's a deep stream flowing by. On a wedding day at midnight, she drowned the soldier boy. In a cottage there is music, you can hear her father say, Mary, my fine daughter, Sunday shall wedding day. We definitely stepped it out there, we did.
Take me away from the city and lead me to where I can be on my own. just wanna be left alone. I always remember your kind words, and I still remember your name. But I've seen you changing and turning, and I know that things just won't be the same. 'Cause I remember that summer in Dublin, and the leafies, it stank like hell. The young people walking on Grafton Street, everyone looking so well. I wanna sing you a song I heard somewhere, and oh, rock and roll never forgets. Humming was smothered by a 46A, the scream of a low-flying jet. Where I can hear the wind and the birds and the sea and the lakes, where open roads always on you. And yet sometimes I tire of the point, and I wanna walk back up in here. I just get on the road and stick out my thumb, 'cause I know for sure you'll be there still. And the leafies, it stank like hell. Young people walking on Grafton Street, everyone looking so well. I wanna sing a song I heard somewhere, go rock and roll never forgets. Humming was smothered by a 46A, scream of a low-flying jet. Right on. I can never go with you no matter how I wanted to. You're riding the finest horse I've ever seen, standing 16, 1 or 2, thighs white and green. You ride the horse so well, hands like to the touch. I could never go with you no matter how I wanted to. Right on, see you. I could never go with you no matter how I wanted to. Right on, see you. I can never go with you no matter how I want you to. Okay, Atlanta, sing it. Right on, see you. I can never go with you no matter how I want you to. Beautiful. Let's hear it. Right on, see you. I can never go with you no matter how I wanted to. chord David played and it pleased the Lord. But you don't really care for music, do you? Well, it goes like this: the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall and the major league. A baffled king composing hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Maybe there's a God above, but all I've ever learned from love was how to shoot somebody who outdrew you. It's not a cry that you hear at night. It's not someone who will see the light. It's a cold and it's a broken hallelujah, 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 hallelujah,
Thank you so much. Thank you. More beautiful singing there, love it. Thank you so much for that. Thanks for letting us sing with you. It's all good. It's all good. We often get asked, about what's life on the road really like, and what's this touring life all about, and is it any good, or this sort of thing. And we decided we wanted to write a song about it, but we were talking about it and we thought there's 3 words that sort of sum up life on the road, and it's basically keep it moving. That's all you do. You got to keep it moving. We pack up our stuff tonight and we move on to Charlotte, and we do Charlotte tomorrow night, and that's the way it goes. And we'd love to stay, but
It was lovely to be here for the 3 days, wasn't it?
It was.
It
Yeah.
just felt like home, just to
Do you know what's
relaxing.
taking clothes out of your suitcase and putting them into a wardrobe?
Into the wardrobe.
It's crazy. It's
Now
crazy.
I have to admit, I didn't do that myself.
You're too busy shaving your legs. Apparently.
That's a bit here, Kelly. You
That's a
got
big
me.
boundary.
Priorities.
Yeah. But you know what? When we think about it, this is life. We wouldn't want any other life. We love this touring life. We've loved this life since we've been kids, basically.
I know. It almost feels weird going home, doesn't it?
We back in the when we were kids, back in the 80s, this is the only thing we wanted to do.
And we were 80s kids.
We were.
We're just working on the hair.
It's going to take us a while, but by next year's tour, we will have longer hair, we promise. Peter Sheridan on keyboards, by the way. Okay, clap with us, come on. There's a clap pattern here. One more time.
Staring at the sun, early morning and we're moving on. Another town behind, and the road is on. Looking through the screen, city lights to guide me in between. Drifting to the sound the radio. We're from California, Colorado, Memphis to Spokane, Boston, Nova Scotia, New York City to Saskatchewan. And moving on, living in a dream. We're dancing that way down in New Orleans, city by the key, in the violin. We're pulling with the pole, Portland, Church, Virginia, go, go. Sail out to sea, oh, no. We're from California, Colorado, Memphis to Spokane, Boston, Nova Scotia, New York City to Saskatchewan. Moving on, keep moving on, keep moving on, moving on now. Come on, keep moving on, keep moving on, moving on now. Keep moving on, keep moving on, moving on now. Keep moving on, keep moving on. Back in Baltimore, lost a night on a Vegas floor. Stuck out on a pier, the volunteer, and no one was near. Felt the Brisbane sun, we sang in Nashville till the morning dawn, hanging with some friends
To the bitter end.
from California, Colorado, Memphis to Spokane, Boston, Nova Scotia, New York City to Saskatchewan. We're from California, Colorado, Memphis to Spokane, Boston, Nova Scotia, New York City to Saskatchewan.
Some great percussion, right? Thank you for that.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Talking about revisiting old friends. This is a song we haven't sang in a while, but we thought we wanted to bring it back in our set. It's been too long gone. It's nice to see it again. By a lonely prison wall, I heard a young girl calling, Michael, they have taken you away, for you stole Trevelyan's car, so the young might see them all. Now a prison ship lies waiting in the bay. Low lie the fields of Athenry, where once we watched the small free birds fly. Our love was on the wing. We had dreams and songs to sing. It's so lonely
prison wall. I heard a young man calling. Nothing matters, Mary, when you're free. Against the famine and the crowd, I rebel, you run me down. You must raise our child with dignity. Oh, the fields of Athenry, where once we watched the small free birds fly. Our love was on the wing. We had dreams and songs to sing. It's so lonely around the fields of Athenry. Harbor wall, she watched the last star fall as the prison ship sailed out against the sky. For she lived in hope and prayed for her love and godly babe. So lonely round the fields of Athenry. Come on, London, sing with us. Lord, lie the fields of Athenry, where once we watched the small free birds fly. Our love was on the wing. We had dreams and songs to sing. It's so lonely round the fields of Athenry. It's so lonely round the fields of Athenry.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Well, you know, we always wanted to write a song about our own country, and I suppose, you know, when we thought about it, talking about our country and its history, you know, I guess it would be remiss not to think about it, at least the greatest tragedy to ever affect our country of Ireland, of course, that being the Irish famine, where we lost millions of our people through starvation and death, or through emigration, because people had to leave the country because they had no choice. They had to get out and find life across the shores. And we thought about this land of 1,000 dreams. Our country is a land of 1,000 dreams. People who, they're dreamers in the country. It's always been people who've left the country dreaming of what they've left behind as well. And there was one, I guess there was one sort of picture in our minds when writing this song of our forefathers standing on the west coast of Ireland, looking out onto the Atlantic Ocean and watching their loved ones leave to get on these coffin ships, as they became known, to travel to the promised land where they may get life. And knowing that they'll never see these people again, and for a lot of people they didn't even make the other side. And just that heart-wrenching vision of, you know, sort of was the basis for this song, and the song then developed into, you know, a song of hope and about, you know, people who are standing up against this regime, as the Irish have often done all of the years, and have been so proud of their culture and proud of their country. And this is something we wanted to develop into the documentary film as well, of course.
Absolutely, yeah. Which brings me to the morning. We left Dublin at 6 in the morning,
True.
6 a.m, to get down to the Cliffs of Moher. And we drove down, and it was such like, it was kind of like the way the weather was yesterday here. And we were driving down to film on the Cliffs of Moher. And I remember as we were approaching County Clare, it was about 8 a.m, and it was just torrential rain and black cloud. We says, we'll keep going anyway, just keep going, because we only had this one day to do it. When we got down to the cliffs, we found this little small village called Doolin. Beautiful, beautiful coastal little village. And as we were setting up, the clouds just lifted. The gods were looking down on us, just lifted. And the sun came out. It was absolutely beautiful. It was still very windy. And myself and Ryan made our way up onto the top of the cliffs. And we stood there completely in awe of this place. It's like another planet. We had never been there before. We'd been around that area. Both of us on different occasions have been around that area, but never actually went right onto the cliffs. And it was absolutely gorgeous. But it was it was a very kind of powerful moment actually, just looking out on that and just to see where, as Ryan says, our ancestors left and not knowing if they were going to make it to the other side. When you could really feel the power of the Atlantic that day, hitting the cliffs, coming up through the cliffs, the vibrations coming up, you know. But one beautiful thing we really got out of that was the footage. We actually captured the moment on the documentary through using drones, and it caught myself and Ryan, and we were just completely transfixed on just looking out on this beautiful place. The sun was shining and the mist was coming up from the ocean, creating these colours. It was just wonderful. It really was wonderful. But it was a powerful moment, and it really brought us back to the song, didn't it?
It did, like
the meaning of the song.
You just put yourself there in that position, you know, and you saw it and just saw the power. And I guess when we sing the song now, we're transported back to that that position and just seeing the power of that. So, look, we'd love to sing the song for you now about our land of 1,000 dreams. Walk with me through this land of 1,000 dreams. Take my hand and stand where our fathers knelt and watched Atlantic swell and heave on its western shore. They pray to God for those they've lost and prayed she'd take no more. These are the shores they have to leave. These are the seas that haunt their dreams. Standing tall, we'll fight like we fought before. Take a stand, what's gone is gone. Now we'll take no more. We'll rise for our time is here. The sun is up, nevermore. For children live in fear. These are the shores they had to leave. These are the seas that hold their dreams. But this is the Thank you very much.
Well, guys, I'm just looking on the set list here. It's our last song we've had to come to. I can't believe it. It just flies. It really does. It flies every night. It just flies by. No. Tonight's been really, really great. It has. It's been a really great vibe in the room, and thank you to everybody. Thank you so much.
We want to say a massive thank you, of course, to the two people to our left and right who make this all very special for us. These two amazing musicians, Mr. Nicole Hudson, Mr. Peter Sheridan.
Getting up a million times, missing words and songs I heard but never wrote them down. Thinking of the folks at home, I promised I'd be back. Told them then no, I'm just here for the crack. Away, our people have been living out for centuries before, trying to find a better life upon a foreign shore. Now it's us, a generation forced to do the same, building dreams with bricks and beams, exports once again. This is something but a tear. Friends I'll never run this road and maybe finally see. No more stray, I'm here to stay. Happy now to be away.
Thank you very much. So kind. Thank you. Hi guys. And maybe you want to hang around for a few more minutes. We'd love to play another one for you.
Yeah, we're gonna all these Irish sort of good Irish party night finishes with a good sing along, and so we're gonna have a sing song now, and you're gonna sing with us, and I think you know this song, and we just want to say thank you so much again for coming out tonight, last night, bearing the storms, and making it the reason why we keep coming back to Atlanta, why we keep want to come back. Thank you so much.
Just a poor boy, and my story seldom told. I scrambled my resistance for a pocket full of mumbles, such are promises. All lies and jest, still the man hears what he wants to hear, and he disregards the rest. I left my home with my family, I was no more than a boy in the company of strangers, in the quiet of a railway station running scared. Laying low, seeking out the poor quarters where the ragged people go, looking for the places only they would know. La la la, come on, sing with us. La 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 la. Asking only workman's wages, I've been looking for a job, but I get no offer. Just to come on from the wars on 7th Avenue. I do declare there were times when I was so lonesome, I took some comfort there. Wishing I was gone, going home. But the New York City winters are not leading me, leading me to go home. In the clearance stands a boxer, magnified by his trade, and he carries the reminder of every love that laid him down and struck him till he cried out in his anger and his shame. I am leaving, but the fight still remains. La la la, la 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 la.
you, everyone. It's so fun.
We'll see you soon, Amanda. Thank you so much. Thank you.